Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back once again to your boy's channel. You already know who it is. Back with a brand new video. And we got some serious talking we got to do right now. If you're new to my channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. Support your boy. I'm on the road trying to get my views back up, trying to get my watch hours up. It's a struggle right now, okay, people? So I need all the support that I can get. So please hit that like and subscribe button for me. So we got to take the time to talk about superhero fatigue. Again, I get it. We've had this conversation a million freaking times, okay? But it's got to be had again, mainly because of what's going on with the new Fantastic Four film, which I've yet to see. But I believe this went through quote me if I'm wrong. Is it a 60 something percent drop off or 80% something drop off as we speak in its second week, I believe, at the box office? And it's really crazy, man, because at one point, Marvel really just could not lose. They stood at the top of the mountain and they could not be touched. But over the last 5 years, no pun intended, ever since Avengers Endgame, everything going on after that has been, not everything, but almost everything just hasn't been worth keeping up with. You understand what I'm saying? And people just haven't been flocking to the theaters as much as they used to see a lot of these movies. And I think one of the reasons, this might be a small reason, not so much superhero fatigue, but when it comes to movies in general, is because of the digital age we live in. A lot of people already know a lot of this stuff is going to be hitting streaming services within the next month or two. So it's like, why go rush out and spend all this money when you know it's going to be going to streaming sooner rather than later? It's like if a movie does not do well, it feels like 1 second it's in theaters, the next second you blink and it's already out on streaming. And that's one of the things I hate about this day and age is that movies are not spending a lot of time in theaters as they used to because these streaming companies want to make all the money off streaming. I don't know how much money they make off the theaters, but they want to make all their money on streaming, getting people to watch the streaming services for as long as they possibly can. And it is really hurting movies. But when it comes to superhero movies in general, it's just like they're not really hitting like that. I believe Superman is doing okay. It's still in theaters, but we don't know how long the Fantastic Four film is going to be in theaters. Um, I could see Disney deciding to pull it out if it just continues to drop and drop and drop. I don't see them keeping it in theaters very long. But that's just one of the things that's crazy to me is that like all the money that's spent on marketing, all the money that was spent promoting the hell out of this movie, and it's still not doing very well. And I don't think it's really a Fantastic Four issue. I again think it's the bigger issue of superhero fatigue. Maybe people are finally burnt out. You know, the curtain call was Avengers Endgame, and now it's like, okay, there's really nothing for us to be super excited about. One of the things with me has always been the from A to Z, everything that happens in between. And that's one of the things that's going on right now when it comes to Marvel is they don't really have an A to Z plan. They're just kind of releasing a bunch of movies and seeing what sticks. And even though Kevin Feige says he has a plan, he of course had to tweak the plan because of what happened with Jonathan Majors and all the trouble that he went through. And now here we are with no longer King the Conqueror, but Doctor Doom being the new big bad. And it's just got a lot of people scratching their heads because even though we're gonna get the Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars in the next 2 to 3 years, it's like the road to get there doesn't make any sense. I believe as I'm speaking right now, we are in what phase 6 of the MCU or phase 5, whichever phase we're in. I've lost track. And the last phase we just got done with, I mean, really didn't bring anything really that got the appetite with. They got people super excited. It was just kind of like, all right, it just felt like a quick puff and it was gone. It was here today, gone tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And it's just disappointing, man, to really see how bad Marvel has fallen off. I don't know if they need to go back and look at what they did to work for the first 4 phases. Maybe they need to really try and focus on cutting back the budget when it comes to these movies. Trying to get a new team together one film at a time. Kind of follow the same model, but obviously it's a little different now because y'all deeper in the MCU versus where y'all are at when Iron Man and Thor and the first Captain America, the first Avenger came out. Y'all way different in the storyline now. But it's like Marvel has got to figure out some way to fix this, and I get it. They're supposedly hitting the reset button when it comes to I think after Secret Wars or is it Doomsday? One or the other. They're hitting the reset button Supposedly, the snap is not going to be able to bring everything back the way it was, so it's going to be some huge monumental changes. And I honestly don't have a problem with that at all. The main thing right now is that Marvel had to go back and call back a lot of former actors to come. Well, not former actors, but former superheroes to come back. You obviously got Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom. They called up OG Captain America Chris Evans. He's coming back. I believe that Kevin Feige even said the reason that the latest movie failed was because it didn't star Chris Evans, which I think is a big slap in the face to you know, Anthony Mackie. And I feel like one of the reasons that movie didn't do as well is because of one, all the money they spent on it. Two, not getting a complete story from start to finish. The watered down villain, hyping up the fight between him and Red Hulk, and obviously Red Hulk was in it for about maybe what, I don't know, 10 minutes. But it's like the guy who played the villain, I don't know, the guy with the messed up face and the big huge brain who was from the old Incredible Hulk film before the MCU days. He was the main villain, and I didn't really care for his character all that much at all. I don't know much about him at all, but the movie just didn't do well in theaters. It wasn't really one of my favorites out of the recent MCU films. It was okay. I don't think it was as bad as everybody made it out to be, but it just wasn't all that great. But it's like with the MCU, it just feels like they're lost right now. They don't have a clear path. And maybe that's why they're trying to go through this restart after Avengers Endgame or after Avengers, not Endgame, I'm sorry, but after Avengers, Secret Wars, because they just need to hit a reset. You know what I'm saying? They can't keep trugging along, going in the same direction, and expecting something to work. Obviously, nothing's working. And again, that brings it back to superhero fatigue. Are people really tired of seeing superhero films? They dominated the box office for the last 10, almost 15 years, and now it's just starting to crumble. People aren't going to the theater to see these movies like they used to. You're seeing all kind of YouTubers making videos every day. Oh man, these movies ain't good. Fans ain't going to see them. What's going on? Me personally, I want to see these movies succeed, but fans just aren't flocking to the theaters like they used to. The money isn't being made to the money isn't being made to match the budget or exceed the budget. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what can Marvel do? Are they gonna have to just trudge along until they get to Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars and say, okay, now we can hit the reset button? Eventually they're going to be reintroducing the X-Men, their own version, into the MCU. So that'll obviously get people's juices flowing. But overall, it just feels like the MCU superhero movies in general just aren't doing hot. I want to see on the DC side of things them do good, but the latest Superman film just wasn't my cup of tea. I just didn't really care for it. There's a lot of people obviously who did. I believe money wise, I think it's doing okay. I'll have to look into it because I'm not big on how movies do money wise, but I think it's doing okay. I think it's doing okay. But that's one of the things a lot of these studios and a lot of these big companies they gotta do. Keep movies in movie theaters longer instead of waiting for like 30 damn days and then pulling them out and putting them on streaming. Leave them in theaters. Looking at movies on the big screen is the way the movies are supposed to be enjoyed. Yeah, you got these big inch TVs at home, but they'll never replace having a nice, big, beautiful screen to look at when you go into the actual theater. Just the whole theater experience, popcorn and all. I know some people don't have the best theaters or the best theater experiences, but to me, I still love going to the theater, and that's the way I feel like movies should be enjoyed. But anyway, superhero fatigue. Do y'all feel like it's hurting movies? Do y'all feel like the era of superhero films are officially over? I know DC is just kind of getting on the rise, and Marvel's really been on the downfall over the last 5 or 6 years. But post y'all comments down below. Let me know what you all think. Is superhero fatigue a real thing, or is it Marvel fatigue and people just aren't rocking with what they're doing? Post them comments down below. I'll catch y'all in the next video. I thank you all for watching. We out.